Welcome to the Petal Cafe, a cozy podcast about life, everything, and Animal Crossing. I'm Biscuit.
And I'm Cookie. We're two friends playing our first Animal Crossing game. Join us as we discover all that the islands have to offer. Come on. Yay!
Well, Cookie,
oh my gosh.
you continually seem like you have problems getting on the bench whenever we try and sit down.
Look, I have a lot of ongoing problems. I pick flowers. I scuff paths. It's just, yeah, there's a lot happening here.
I'm glad you're in my life.
Uh-huh. It's mutual.
So how's speaking of life, how is life?
Life is pretty good. We're back into lockdown here in our region of the world.
Yeah.
It's kind of like being in a pandemic time warp.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's suddenly 11 months ago.
Oh yeah.
And we're isolated from even each other.
Yeah. Yeah. This is, I think this is the first time that second time we're recording separated.
Mm-hmm.
Since we were able to do a few before we went into lockdown, and get those edited and out.
Yeah.
And I mean second time because we've got something special in the works.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it.
It's gonna be good.
I'm still editing it, so it'll be out when I'm done.
Same, and we'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, in real life, I've been doing lots of kitty snuggles and watching a lot of Twitch, to be honest.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Netflix and puppy snuggles. There's a lot of that going on.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't have...
Fair.
Other than, I've been working on 2 baby blankets for friends of mine that are having kids in March, and I'm kind of lax on it, and I probably should get those done. Maybe.
I've been spending time researching, paths and stuff, so I haven't been doing much actual knitting or crocheting myself.
Yeah. There's a lot of work going on Butter Bay. Why don't we jump into what's new in the zoo, which is actually special this week.
Right. Because it's really just what's new on Butter Bay.
Yep, it's what's new on Butter Bay.
I got it right.
You did. You did get it right.
For a change, I called it Butter Bay instead of Biscuit Bay. Look at me go. I've been practicing.
Let's move on to what's new on Butter Bay.
Love it.
So, Cookie.
Hey, Biscuit.
I got lots to talk about on what's new on Butter Bay.
What's new in your zoo?
Yeah, what's new in my zoo? All right.
Yeah.
So today we have one of the spaces I made recently was behind us. I'm not sure I'm fully happy with it, but I mean, I'm going with it for now. I can't think of anything else that I want to put there, so.
You could tear it down and do something different if you wanted.
I could, but that might make me cry a little bit. I worked really hard on that. So, but I do have some very happy news.
Oh, what's that?
I got 2 new photos.
You heard the photo getting machine.
I can't help it. It's like a calling for me. So I have 2 photos to add to my shrine of photos. That's Apple and Static.
Oh.
Yeah. I was really happy when I got Static's photo. I saw a tweet on Twitter.
That's where you see the tweets.
That's where I see the tweets. Someone I follow on Twitter posted that their shrine of photos as well, and they also had Static. I was like,
nice.
What? What? I thought I was the only person that knew about Static.
Of course not. There's going to be like a fan club out there.
He's so awesome. I love Static. Anyway, so that was really cool. And I totally tweeted at them about loving Static. Then Stitches decided that he wanted to move to a different island.
Stitches? No.
I was a little sad at first, but I mean, I have had him on both my islands now, and I did get his photo, so I can look at the photo and remember. It brings back all of the memories that I had with him.
Yeah, that's true.
But I did find him a new island to go to.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so he was rehoused, I guess the best way to put that.
Rehomed.
So I decided that I was going to go on a Nook Mile Island tour. I took 28 tickets.
Yep.
And I used 5 of them.
Oh, nice.
Only 5.
Who'd you find?
Who'd I find? Marshall. I found
Rockstar.
Marshall. And he is the sweetest, cutest little squirrel. Oh my god. I now understand why people love him so much.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it goes with he's not a dreamy for me, but he's one of the super popular ones, which means he's a dreamy for somebody. Yep. Like, I have Judy, I've had Stitches. I will eventually give him up to somebody for them to enjoy him as well.
Sure.
I'm currently in the process of waiting for villagers to move out, but nobody seems to want to move.
Like to volunteer to move out.
Yeah, to volunteer to move out. This is not Amiibo moving. This is just like volunteering to move out so I can get, a new body in.
Right.
I wait.
Yep.
I wait.
Yep.
I've also decided that where my villager houses before was just too much space between them. I know a lot of people like to do yards around their villager houses that goes with their personalities. I'm not one of those people, apparently.
Oh,
I would much rather have a communal space that they like to sit at.
Okay.
So I'm working on that right now. I need to move 3 more houses and I've got them all moved.
Marvelous. You've been very busy.
Yep. I was a little behind on my days, so it helped moving the houses and everything like that. I also started working on winter, the winter section of my island, and breaking things down and shifting things around, which is really exciting. But I have a lot of flowers to move, so that's going to be a time user. I uploaded my first dream of Butter Bay.
Yet.
Of Butter Bay. It is
nice.
when I had an aurora borealis.
Oh.
It was like this. It was so beautiful, and I was so happy that I had one. After you mentioned yours on Cookieland, I wanted one too. So I was very happy that I ended up getting one.
They're so beautiful.
They're so beautiful. We also had the new update gave us a few things. But what I'm most excited for is Festival, which is February 15th.
Oh yeah, that's coming up soon.
2 weeks. So
2 weeks from when we're recording this.
2 weeks from when we're recording this. Today is January 30th. I am so excited, and I'm just I'm dreaming of the time that I get to dance with Pave.
Pave must dance.
Apparently.
Yes. Well, that's what we're told.
That's what we're told.
And that's what the trailer says.
Yep.
If that's one of those movie trailers where what they include is something they cut out of the movie, I'm going to be very upset.
I'd be very upset too. I want to see Pave dance, man. So that's all that's due on Butter Bay.
That's pretty good. That's a lot, though.
I mean, it is. So we have a special segment today, and the reason why it was only what's new on Butter Bay is because Cookieland has gone through a lot of changes.
Cookieland has been burned to the ground.
So let's go and move to what happened to Cookieland.
What happened to Cookieland?
Hey, Biscuit.
Hi, Cookie.
Where are we, Biscuit?
I think we're on your island.
We are on my island, but my island is now Apple Park.
Okay, wait. Wait, you have to explain to me what happened to Cookieland.
Okay, so in our last episode, we talked about how it might be interesting to move Cookie, this character that I'm playing, to my own island.
This is true.
Because on Cookieland, I wasn't the resident representative.
Yeah.
So I got a bee in my bonnet about it and was like, well, let's see what happens. So I did.
All right. Well, that was that's a big move.
That's the Coles notes.
I was a little shocked when I heard you say that you were going to attempt this, and I was very, very worried for you.
It was actually easier than I thought once I figured out what I needed.
Okay.
Let's take a second and I'll talk to you about how to transfer a secondary character to their own island.
Amazing.
Okay, I'm in the process of editing like a more fulsome video about this, but I figured for the happiness of our listeners and a preview of that, it might be nice to sort of give you my top 3 tips about moving to a new island. The first tip I have is that if you are not your resident representative, but you want to move your stuff to a new island, create your new character on your current island, right?
Okay.
And the reason I'm saying that is I was able to move with my entire house inventory full.
Oh.
So I got to take 2,400 items and my fully grown house with me to this new island.
Wow.
Yeah. And so there was a minimum of trips I had to do back and forth.
That's awesome.
Also, because I had been playing this character for quite a while, I didn't lose any of my recipes or any of my reactions or any of my...
So you didn't have to, like, start all over again like I did?
No, it was some kind of hybrid starting all over, which you'll see in the video. It's like, you come to this new island, and you still have to spend the first night in a tent, but then Tom Nook arrives the next morning and says, hey, your stuff has gotten here.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Really interesting. So I still got to go through the whole process of selecting an island and finding who my starting characters would be. And that was really awesome because I have ended up with a top tier lineup, I have to say.
Yay!
I'm really happy with my lineup. Do you want to bring up my map, maybe?
I would love to bring up your map.
And then you can see who my wonderful villagers are on Apple Park. I was pleased to find a couple of things I was looking for in an island when I chose this layout.
Okay.
I wanted both my rivers to be at the front of the island, which I know is something that you didn't love on your first island.
I did not.
But I didn't have that, so that's what I wanted. My resident services is a little further away. Not as far away as I would have liked, but it's a little further away from my airport.
Okay.
My dock is short, but I decided that that was not going to be make or break because of the other things that I really loved, which were my fruit tree is an apple. Hence the name, Apple Park. My native flowers are mums, which previously I had lilies. And my airport is yellow, which is something that I really wanted because between us, that was the only color we hadn't had yet.
Yeah, because I think my last one was green.
Yeah, and mine was orange.
And this one's blue. And you have yellow.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
I was really happy with my starter villagers, who were Leonardo, the jock leopard-looking guy.
Yep.
And Phoebe is my Uchi sisterly, and who I've also never had.
Ooh.
So, you know what? I was like, you know what? I can work with this. This works for me. So off we went. And it was only, I think, my third try of selecting an island and flying. So it didn't take me long at all.
Oh, that's awesome. I think when I restarted, I did it twice. No, I think it was 4 times because I didn't like the layout of the island.
Yeah, it was a few times.
Because I was really looking for more of the layout of the island than anything else. Okay, so who is your next villager?
When I was building the 3 plots that Tom Nook assigned to me from my 3rd, 4th, and 5th villagers, I decided to let him autofill them, which I know that's risky business. But I was like, you know what? Let's just see what happens. So I ended up with Anchovy for my lazy, Cutie, Tammy with an I, the monkey character, for my Peppy, and Megan for my sweet character, who is one of the new characters with no amiibo. That was a find.
Wow.
Yeah. And I've never had any of these villagers before, and I was like, okay then.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So when you say you let Tom Nook autofill it, is there a way to...
Not do that?
Yeah.
You can start... Okay. From what I understand, you can actually start villager hunting from the moment he gives you a Nook Mile ticket.
Oh.
And you can invite 3 people before you build all the plots.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either, until very recently.
Oh. We're learning new things.
Yeah.
I like learning.
I learned that on the Animal Crossing podcast with N64 Josh.
Oh, okay. We'll link them in the description box below.
They're really entertaining, I have to say.
All right. So then after the plots are filled, then you get your camper is your next villager.
Right. So, and then my camper was Shep, who is your smug character. Now I had Shep's amiibo, so I was kind of like, but then I was like, but I also had never actually had him on my island, so sure.
That's
sounds
exciting.
good to me.
He is really adorable. I totally will take him when he wants to move out.
Oh, good to know. Okay, so then I have 4 villagers left. My huntings found me Frobert, who I gotta admit isn't gonna last that long on Cookieland because he's a foster for Biscuit.
But Cookieland is no more.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna last long on Apple Park. Because he's a foster for Biscuit.
Yeah, he is. He's a weird little jock frog.
Look at his little teeths.
He matches me.
He does. He's so cute. He is cute, I gotta say.
He's very adorable.
Yeah.
Okay, and then...
okay, so then my sassy, snooty character I found was Tasha, and I was like, yes. And then the 2 final villagers were a bit of a surprise. For a cranky, I decided I wanted the cranky kangaroo named Walt, and I was having a lot of trouble finding him. So I ran into someone who actually had wanted to find a new home for Audie, so I was like, okay. So that was amazing. That worked out really well because it was completely unexpected. And then the next day, someone did have Walt who was moving out, so I ended up with both of these fabulous characters.
That's awesome.
I could not be happier with the starting lineup, I have to tell you.
I'm really excited for Frobert for myself, but yeah, no, totally for you.
Yeah. Don't worry, I already have an amiibo lined up for who's going to punt him out once you are ready for him.
As soon as one of my villagers decides they want to leave, I'm totally down for, picking up Frobert. Like,
it's all good, all good. There's no rush.
Okay, so you decided to call your island Apple Park because you had the apple fruit.
I knew that going into it, I wanted to name it something Park.
Okay.
I just didn't know what. And then when I ended up with apples as my fruit, I was like, oh, well, that works. So you'll hear me go through that internal monologue in my video.
Which will be a special video that we do. Yeah. We're posting on YouTube only.
It will be YouTube only. It's actually going to be 2 parts.
Is it?
So, yeah, I've got the getting out of Cookieland and transferring the character part. And then the second part is selecting and setting up Apple Park.
Oh, nice.
So that editing is in progress.
Woot. I'm excited. I haven't actually seen any of it, so I'm very excited to see it too.
We've been working hard, I've got to say.
We have been working hard.
Because, moving the character, all in all, it should take about an hour. Right?
Okay.
It took me 48 hours.
I'm sorry. It took you 48 hours?
It took me 48 hours because I kept running into problems.
Okay. So things that you just you didn't really expect to run into?
Right. I ran into some issues and I had to try it several times. So what I ended up doing was... So after a few trials and errors, mostly errors. Yeah. What I ended up doing was moving Cookieland to a new Switch.
Okay.
That didn't have an island on it,
right.
Obviously. Then starting the new island on my Switch, and then moving everything I wanted to keep that I couldn't fit in my storage, and then deleting Cookieland from that switch.
Wow.
All that should have taken about an hour, right? It took me 48 hours because the first time I tried it, I was like, wait, am I moving the island or just the character? Turns out those are not done the same way.
Oh.
If you're moving the island, you just use the island transfer tool. Pretty simple.
Right.
It takes like 2 seconds. Well, 5 minutes.
Okay.
But it's really easy. They gold star Nintendo on that app. It is fantastic.
Ooh, yay. I'm actually kind of shocked on that one.
I know. It's really, really good.
Okay.
In order to move a secondary character to their own island, you don't use the transfer tool itself. You use the minus.
Oh, the minus settings where you go into talk to Tom Nook?
Yes.
Gotcha.
You can only... Okay, so first you have to move your profile to the new Switch.
Okay.
Then you have to disconnect your profile on the old Switch so that suddenly Cookie is marooned on the island with no Switch account attached to her.
Okay.
And then the resident representative sends Cookie to the new Switch, which is all stuff that I did not understand before I was trying to begin this process. You go into the minus menu and you select move to a new island, which is not intuitive because you think that you're going to be the one moving to a new island. But Tom Nook will immediately tell you, well, you're the resident rep, so I can't do that, but I can move somebody else.
Oh, okay.
So that's how that starts. Now, the next problem I ran into was when he says that you need to have a separate copy of the game on the other Switch, he is not kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have only one copy of the game and it's on a game card, fantastic. Borrow someone else's game card. You have 2 game cards. You are good to go.
Okay.
Those are separate copies.
Yep.
If you have only one digital download of the game and you try and put it on both Switches, it's going to tell you, error. Because the digital signature of your download, it interferes. And so I kept having this problem where I would have an error when I tried to finalize the moving process.
Oh. So you have to purchase another copy of the game or find another copy of the game via...
Borrow someone's game card is my recommendation. If you can't, then you will have to buy another digital copy of the game.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean...
So...
It's not the worst thing.
It is not. But my advice is, if you have to do that, don't be super married to the person whose Switch you've borrowed actually wanting to play that game. Because you might be disappointed. Ask me how I know.
Okay.
It's kind of sad, honestly.
Sorry. So explain that to me. So you borrowed a Switch.
I did.
And you purchased the game for that Switch.
I did.
And then you moved your person to that Switch, or you moved your island. You moved Cookieland to the other Switch, right? Then you created Apple Park on your Switch, and you moved Cookie from Cookieland to Apple Park.
Yes.
And you deleted Cookieland off of the other Switch.
Yes. So now here on the other Switch is a fresh copy of the game with no user.
Ah.
Because it's tied to the profile with which I downloaded it.
Ah. But the other person that owns that other Switch is not...
Not an Animal Crossing player.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, worst case, we build an island that we, can use for recording. If they'll ever let us use that Switch.
That is the main problem there.
Mm.
One is very proprietary of one's Switch.
No.
One was willing to lend it for a few days, but more than that is a little bit iffy.
No. Interesting.
Oh.
Interesting.
You know what? It's okay. I decided that getting to have Cookieland move all of the useful items over to Apple Park
was worth
not
it. Not
have to restart from scratch. It was worth the cost of the game.
Well, you know what? I mean, maybe in the future, that person, said person, will be interested in playing Animal Crossing.
Maybe. You never know.
Or lend, their Switch for a period of time.
Switch.
Who knows?
You said Twitch.
Oh, lend their Switch for a period of time. Who knows?
We have our own Twitch. We don't need to borrow that.
We do have our own Twitch.
What was cool was that I got to start with terraforming from the get-go.
Oh!
Yeah,
That
so
took
I've done
me-
a lot of work on this island already.
That took me about a week to get when I restarted.
I had it from day one.
Yeah.
And I just had KK yesterday. So
Oh, wow.
the amount of work I've done on this island is significant considering. So that
For
was
sure.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that is awesome.
That's why my advice is if you're considering starting a new island, start a new character first
Yeah.
on your old island because it's going to make everything else so much easier.
That makes sense. And, like, get them set up with all of the DIYs and all
Do
this
you know
stuff.
you can unregister your KK songs from the radio and drop them on the ground and your other character can pick them up?
No.
I learned this.
I just keep going to KK every Saturday and telling him to play me a song of his choice, and he gives me the
Next one you don't have?
the next one I don't have, and I just figure I'll just get them all that way.
Yeah. It is, plus you get an achievement from going to him every week.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't actually know that. Instead of buying them, I just resolved to I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not in a rush to get them. I'm still working on Butter Bay, and it's kind of cool to just let it go and watch, depending on the villagers that decide to sit down with me.
It's delightful. But yeah, if you want to get the badge for your Nook Miles, keep going to KK because there is one for that. I think, there's 3. So anyway, so that's the story of how Apple Park came to be.
Yay!
And I am very happy with how it's looking so far. I've got some different stuff going on. I have sort of an idea in mind of what I want to do with it. It's getting there.
Yay! Is there anything that you would like to show us specifically?
I've been practicing my waterfalls. Do you want to come with me and see that?
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to get you to follow me.
All right, I'm following you.
All right. Let's go this way.
All right.
Up over. You can see some stuff that's just randomly hanging out. So here's one waterfall that I'm enjoying.
Ooh, that's cute.
And then the other one, we'll keep going back.
Hide behind the trees.
Yeah. Nope, keep going. There we go.
Oh, this is
These
so
ones.
cool.
So it's one of those double waterfalls. It goes over both sides of the cliff.
Oh, that's so nifty.
Really enjoying that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Trying to use more water features, incorporating some of the tips and tricks that some of the YouTubers in my life have spent so much time creating for us and wanting to utilize that knowledge.
That is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
I guess the other question is, you and Nita fossils?
I have about 2/3 of them.
Oh, nifty.
But yeah, I still do.
Okay. I got some extra ones since I completed my entire collection.
That's one thing. You can't bring the museum with you, so you have to redonate everything.
Yeah. I know that. Can't do that at all.
That's okay. It's been fun. It's nice to have Blathers go to you and say, I already have all these fossils for the 17th time. Instead he's saying, ooh, I found something.
It's
nice.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, I have about 2/3 of them. I've been tracking them in my app as I go through, so.
And that app is the ACNH Life app
Yep, I love that one.
that we both use.
That was an interesting thing. So what I did is I cleared out all of the creatures and fossils from that app because your Critterpedia is going to stay complete.
Yeah.
Or as complete as it was. And so you won't get the yes every time you have a new creature to donate.
Oh, true.
So in order to track which creatures I have donated to this Blathers, I'm just using the app.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because and then the difference being is I started a new island. Anything I have not caught and donated before will automatically give me that yes.
Yeah. Because this is a fresh iteration of Biscuit.
It is.
Yeah.
I got all new. I got all new and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da!
Magical. Well, thanks for coming to visit Apple Park with me, Biscuit. It's really nice to show off something I'm so excited about.
Well, thanks for having us. I had a really good time.
Yay.
I like what you've done with it. I think that in time it's going to look amazing.
I think it's getting there, honestly.
I've
had some help, and I'm not ashamed to say it.
As things you make tend to be.
Aw, thanks.
Well, you're welcome.
All of my paths from Cookieland are still available, as is the dream address for Cookieland. So
yeah, Monkey Cove dream address is still available. I didn't really do anything on the pathing part, so just the dream address.
Oh, golly. All right. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Petal Cafe, a cozy podcast about life, everything, and Animal Crossing with your hosts, Biscuit and Cookie.
I've been Biscuit.
And I've been Cookie. We post all the links to what we talked about and referenced in this episode in the show notes in the description box below the video on YouTube and on Reddit at r/thepetalcafe.
Leave us a comment about what you thought about the show. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the subscribe button on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time.
See you next time.